All right, what up with you, Stone?
Oh man, same old, man. You know, same old 6-shooter, bro. What's happening with it?
I want to address something, man. There's a topic going on the internet about the 6 tray Hoovers. And as far as we believe, that came from you. You was the first one to put that out there. So we want to clarify some things.
Sure. First of all, there was no such thing as 6 tray Hoovers.
For the dime moves in the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole, for the homegirls with the scrap game, little homies that gang bang, from Pelican Bay to YA, rearrange your mind frame. Yeah, I know what you've been through, shit you had to go tend to. Your mama gave birth on the turf, I know them killers you kin to. This for the lost generation, broke as hell, mad and impatient. But if you know your history, you can't have a strong foundation, baby. Kev Mac video. You know, this is for sure. For sure. Kev Mac video. Open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby. Kev Mac video. You know, this is for sure. For sure. Kev Mac video. Open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby.
When our hood was establishing, you know what I mean, over where we are in our area, it was like the Wild West. It wasn't no real gang over there. I mean, it was going through changes. You had the Bishops, you had the Avenue Crips, you had, all Crips at that time was allies, just West Side. And you had a few Bloods, because the gangbang was fairly new. So then, in our area, when I said that, because Wayne was a Crip. You know what I'm saying? Which was cool with us, all that. And in the area we talking about around 63rd and Crenshaw, it wasn't really nothing dominant over there. So it was one guy with one idea that he wanted to start a set over there, 6 tray Hoover. It never happened. You know what I mean? We wasn't trying to start that. We was starting our own thing. You know, West Side Neighborhood Crips from the Rolling Sixties. From the Rolling Sixties came later on. But we was establishing ourselves. That was just Wayne, one idea. That'll be like me saying Hoover Byron, I don't know, I shouldn't even use his name, but Hoover Byron in the 40s, saying that the Hoover started the 40s. Tommy McCoy lived on my block. He was claiming 74, but he didn't start 60s. 60s had nothing to do with that. It was just people just trying to put flags down and claim area. Now, our gang was a relatively new gang at that time. But that was our area. We all went to school together or grew up together. People in the hills, everybody was coming together to form a gang. You had a Black Dog from Venice Shoreline. That'd be like Black Dog saying he started the 60s. Wayne didn't have nothing to do with 60s being started. Now, we was cool with the Hoovers, you know what I'm saying? Like Lil Bam, them, Lil Nun, Tony Stacy. There's a bunch of Hoovers that we was cool with, and because Crips, like I said, Crips was allies. All Crips on that west side was coming, but you got to keep this in mind also, that Crips was coming going west, from east to west. It wasn't from west to east, so you had a lot of virgin territory. And just so happened in that Crenshaw area district, we was going to dominate that regardless. Because it was a bunch of us, we was coming together as one unit. So we was growing faster and faster. I mean, from however you want to start it out. Like when the Odie and them were Q-Say Cafe boys, I was too young to know anything about that. But when Odie and them and Raymond Potts started 6-5 neighborhood, they was on that side of the other side of Western, even though Odie lived on the west side of Western. Then you had Gene Keefe, you had Anthony Hatch, and there was a lot of us. We was all pushing west. Then you had Cat and them and Pinky and them. They was over there. We all was trying to come together as one unit. You know what I mean? And that's why I be like saying, when people be saying T. Manuel and Odie Shaw started Rolling Sixes, they had nothing to do. They are not founders or had anything to start with the Rolling Sixes of today.
What's your definition of a founder?
A founder is somebody that found something or establishes something. that means that if you was to be a founder of the Rolling Sixes, you would have had to been there doing the initial meetings, the recruiting, the branding, and the pushing that line. And they weren't there. Now, they was down. You know what I mean? You had Perry Manuels on the other side of the track, was down, you know what I'm saying, booting them. I know all of them. You know, but he was Sneaky T from West Side Crips. You know what I'm saying? And it's a distinction. You know, like, in my opinion, I don't care who get mad when I say this. When we was building that brand, we had resistance over there from some old and young. You know what I mean? Because they didn't really want to be a part of it because they didn't believe in it because we wasn't deep. You know, once we got deep, then everybody want to be a part of it because it was either get with us or get ran over there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that they was, well, I'm not speaking on no particular person, but that's what our mindset were. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, you had a whole, like the beginning, the very beginning, the biggest consequential thing that happened in the 60s is when two groups came together. You know what I mean? One that was down with Babyface and Kyle and G and Keith now, and well, I even include Anthony in them. Once that came together, that's when the whole mess came together. You know what I mean? Because, you know, from us on Arlington, you know, even some of us disagree because everybody had friends on every other side, but that's what made it right. And that was Halloween 1974. So at that particular time, I was 14 years old. You know, I think probably the face now might have been 16. You know what I mean? So,
not to cut you off, let's go back to Wayne. What set was he from?
Wayne was from Hoover, I guess. He was from Hoover. He was claiming Hoover. Tommy McCoy on my block was claiming Hoover. Wayne was claiming Hoover. And, you know, over there. Them the only two that I knew. And then we had another dude, Crazy T, that used to mess with Tommy's, because Tommy called himself Lil Crazy T from 7-4, but he was messing with Dolly. But there wasn't no gang over there. Wayne, I mean, it's just like saying, if you go to an empty block, there's nobody over there, right? And you have an idea, well, I'm going to turn this block into that. But nobody joined you, so how is that a gang? That's one person.
Did he try to recruit people in the area?
Just to make it short, he probably did. Nobody bit, you know, because it never happened. You know, but Wayne was cool. I mean, he wasn't no buster or nothing, but it was just like that. That ain't had nothing to do with it. It didn't catch on. You know what I mean? I just put it the polite way.
Was it ever sprayed on walls or niggas yelling it out?
Maybe him, maybe one dude, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't even relevant enough to remember. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now you said the hood started Halloween 74. So when did this Wayne thing come about?
Prior to that. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't like a gang. So it was a lot of things was moving over there. And, you know, it's 50 years from now. I mean, you know, so my memory is a little vague. But at the end of the day, you know, prior to us being a real gang, it was West Side Crips, West Side Avenues, West Side neighborhoods. You know, all them transitions was going on over there. You had some bishops over there. You know what I'm saying? And you had a few Van Ass Brims. You know what I'm saying? So it was just virgin territory. Didn't nobody run that area, but just some hogs that were just running through there, were just bullies or whatever you want to call them. But it wasn't a real gang over there. If you're going to say it was a gang, it would have been West Side Crips. You know what I mean?